Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what up, y'all? What up, y'all? Uh feels good to be back. Feels good to be able to stream. And remember this question, man. Remember this question, man. Is there a game series that is at least comparable to Batman Arkham? Now, I asked this question. I asked this question because Batman Arkham is one of the best game series of all time. All time. Very hard to find a 4 game series as good as that. And I've been getting a lot of funny answers. I think the best answer though was when people like broke the rules. Because one of the rules of it was you can pick whatever game you want. You can, say whatever you want, but it has to be in numerical order. So you can't, if I'm saying the Arkham series, right? Batman one, Batman Arkham Asylum, then Batman Arkham City, then Batman Origins, then Batman Arkham Knight, right? That's 1 through 4. People were, and I said you could only pick 1 through 4. I said the game series can have more than 4 games, but you can only pick 1 through 4. You can't fucking pick. Like people were taking like Grand Theft Auto and saying, well, I'm saying GTA San Andreas and this one and that. It's like, no, Grand Theft Auto didn't start at San Andreas. Grand Theft Auto starts at like GTA 1 on like PlayStation 1. There was like Chinatown Wars or some shit. It was horrible. It was like, and I'm like, so you have to include that. And I'm like, that don't even compare to nothing about Batman. So I make a new post, right? And I'm like, yo, I asked y'all this question, and some of y'all was just breaking a rule. And as soon as I make the post, right? As soon as I make the post, somebody comments Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 4, and GTA 5. And I responded, I said, bro, you just broke all the rules. Like, that was, like, clearly against the rules. So, the internet's a funny place, man. Just got to utilize it how you can utilize it, man. Shout out to the internet. I want to look at this real quick, though.
In a cooked-up study, 5 out of 6 amateur food critics loved the Toyota BZ. And number 6? Right. Critic's gonna critic. Let's give him a taste. 1 order of humble pie. To go. Toyota BZ. 1 drive can change your mind.
That not all Komodo dragons saliva. You're clambering through the bush on one of Indonesia's lesser Sunda Islands when you suddenly spy a Komodo dragon in the clearing ahead. So, what should you do? Are you doomed? Forked tongue flickering, sharp, saw-like teeth glimmering, and strong, scaly bodies stretching up to 3 meters, Komodo dragons are formidable and the world's largest lizards. They can weigh over 80 kilograms, but that number fluctuates dramatically since they're capable of gulping down 80% of their body weight in a single meal. Komodo dragons are one of dozens of species of monitor lizard. They evolved in Australia and now inhabit just a few Indonesian islands where adult Komodos generally have no natural predators besides each other. They begin their lives as limber, tree-dwelling hatchlings. Within their first year, they rarely venture to the ground in order to avoid predators, like adult Komodo dragons. Because cannibalism certainly isn't out of the question, juveniles actively hunt insects and other lizards. And once they grow larger, they graduate to the ground, and their diet eventually shifts dramatically to include animals several times their size. They devour deer, pigs, and even water buffalo, bones and all. Komodos can lie in wait for hours alongside game trails, but at the opportune moment, they'll lunge and can reach 17 km/h bursts of speed. Their extremely sharp teeth have serrated edges and tips coated in iron that puncture and tear through flesh, making their bites quite literally metal. But exactly what Komodos owe their hunting successes to, especially when it comes to taking down larger animals like water buffalo, has been debated for decades. Back in the 80s, one researcher proposed that even if their prey initially escapes, Komodo dragon's saliva might store harmful bacteria, which could proliferate in the bite wounds and help kill the.
That used to be the thing. Now more people have caught on to the fact that Komodo dragons are actually the largest, are the biggest animal with venom, I think.
Animal. But researchers have since found that not all Komodo dragon saliva packs such lethal bacteria, and some bite wounds might get infected all on their own. Interestingly, Komodo dragons also have venom glands, which secrete anticoagulant and shock-causing compounds, possibly exacerbating the destructive powers of their bites. But it's unclear whether venom is playing much of an active role. And Komodo's thrashing bites alone seem harmful enough to cause fatal injury much of the time. But they're not just hunters. Komodo dragons are also scavengers.
Yeah.
With their characteristic undulating walk and their snake-like flicking forked tongue, they're able to gauge the direction of different scents and identify rotting flesh from afar. When one Komodo takes down a water buffalo, dozens may congregate to feed. However, despite regularly diving into decaying corpses, Komodo dragons rarely succumb to infections themselves, even though males leave devastating wounds on each other during breeding season. Researchers think this is because their blood is packed with peptides, which are like small proteins, many of which can fight microbes and stimulate the Komodo's immune system. Some of these antimicrobial peptides have proven so promising, they're even being investigated for human antibiotic uses. But how can you protect yourself in the land of dragons? Komodo Island oral tradition holds that a woman long ago gave birth to twins, one human and one dragon. Inextricably connected from then on, the relationship between humans and Komodo dragons was to be governed by respect and coexistence instead of fear and violence. And indeed, Komodo dragons generally avoid humans, unless something like rotting flesh is also on the menu. If you encounter a Komodo, try to stay calm and avoid sudden movements that could pique their curiosity. You're better off orienting yourself behind them or to their side. If one gets close, you could grab a stick and push it against their shoulder or hit their sensitive foreheads. And in the rare event one chases you, try outrunning them, climbing a tree, or jumping into the ocean, because they can run fast over short distances, but they're no marathon runners, and large Komodos can't climb trees anymore and tend to avoid water. It's also worth noting that if you did end up in this situation, it's probably because you illegally ventured into a protected area without an experienced guide. So better to just avoid doing that to begin with.
I was gonna say, like, how the fuck do you end up with a Komodo dragon trying to eat you? Like, they're not just fucking around. Like, you ain't about to just pull up on one in Kensington. Like, that's not gonna fucking happen. What's up, Rich? You're not gonna fucking see a Komodo dragon in fucking Kensington. I was looking at this earlier.
Are you trying to kill me? Me? Adios, Leon.
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we're taking a look at 20 secrets, Easter eggs, references, cheats, and more in Resident Evil games.
Great.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to Mojo Plays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Ring the bell.
Signing off. With there being just as many Resident Evil spin-offs just as there are main games, it is totally understandable for some characters to be forgotten by most of the fan base. For example, many may not remember Alyssa Ashcroft as she only appeared in Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File Number 2. The journalist hasn't had much of a role in the story since then, however, RE7 shows that Capcom hasn't forgotten the famed reporter's place in the franchise. One document you can find is titled Over 20 Missing, where Alyssa writes about the increase in missing person cases occurring in Louisiana.
I'll escape this damn town alive and spread the truth about what happened.
I'm Sora 2, the new AI in town.
We're not afraid. Artless got them all.
Sora 2.
Fit for a king. The throne room is one of the more famous goofy moments in Resident Evil 4, but you kind of have to go out of your way to appreciate this small cutscene. Yes, you can sit on Salazar's throne and soak in a few moments of looking like a real badass. Of course, there are more pressing matters to attend to, like, you know, saving the president's daughter from a deranged cult leader, but hey, at least these few moments of resting did get you a shiny trophy or achievement.
Thanks. That should keep me company, 'cause boredom kills me.
Tell me who's watching. As much as we love the original games, especially RE2, the fixed camera angle is the only thing that keeps us from wanting to replay them. There were plenty of times where we just wanted to turn around and shoot at the screen. If you tried doing this yourself, you found yourself a funny little gag.
Yeah, I'm not going back for these. Like, I know a lot of people love them. I'm not going back for them. I'm not going back for those.
You could do whenever you wanted to waste some bullets in a fit of rage. Sad that no other RE games after this would include this, but shooting the camera is kind of hard to do when your character can't always look at it. Traitor!
Hey, are you trying to kill me? What the hell are you doing?
Okay, we love Lewis. Who doesn't? Yeah, he can be annoying in the middle of a fight sometimes and get in the way too much, but he's no Sheva. For some, this was simply intolerable. If you ever decided to take your rage out on Lewis and start shooting him, you got to witness a little cutscene where Leon meets his end way sooner than expected.
Adios, Leon.
Sadly, this was taken out of the 2023 remake, and Lewis is now a god, able to withstand every weapon in your arsenal.
What the hell are you doing?
The Louisiana
People are just fucking crazy. Like, why would you want to do that anyway?
secret. If you were one of those players who didn't scour every corner of the map, chances are you missed this special Easter egg that provides a connection between the Baker's residence, the village, and the Mega Mice Seat. In one of the very last areas of Village, there is a cave hidden near the pond with the golden fish. Go inside, and you'll find a laptop as well as the heart of the Mega Mice Seat. On the other side is a coin from Dulvey, Louisiana, and a computer containing some sweet, sweet lore. Comedy gold.
You are nothing.
I feel like he looks like an actor. Like there's a certain actor he actually looks like, and I can't think of it. Oh, he looks like he looks like the guy. What's that actor's name? His name is John Vogt. Played the Anaconda. He kind of looks like him to me.
It's not unyielding, Mr. Kennedy.
One of the best parts about the original RE4 is how Leon constantly dunks on Salazar in the dumbest ways, even when it doesn't make sense. Seriously, we will never forget how he says "no thanks, bro" in the most sophisticated tone.
No thanks, bro.
Many were upset that this line was not repeated in the remake, but it was referenced another way. Simply defeat Salazar and you shall earn a trophy or achievement called "No Thanks, Bro." Toss a grenade into his mouth and you'll get a trophy or achievement called "You Talk Too Much." R.I.P. Zombie Slayers. RE5 holds a couple of references to Capcom's other more comedic horror series, Dead Rising. One newspaper you can find in one of the campaigns is a copy of the Willamette Park Journal, which is the same paper Frank West works for. But what strikes our curiosity more is that there is a list in RE5 of deceased people in a document.
Where's the rest of the team? Shit.
2 names are written on there, Frank E. and Isabella C. We know that Frank's last name is West and Isabella's is Keys, but there's a good chance Capcom was just being cheeky here. Maybe Frank East was Frank West's BFF or something.
Umbrella.
What?
A perfect way to pass the time. Okay, this one may not be as interesting as the other entries, but it was just a really amusing detail in RE4's remake that Capcom didn't need to put in. Sometimes, as you are browsing his wares,
Ouch.
the merchant will make remarks about what you're looking at or say something about your health. Other times, he will hum a little tune to himself.
Oh, yeah, I know this.
The tune is unrecognizable, but to think the merchant is humming little ditties while infected murderous villagers are running around is just way too funny.
Love slots? The DraftKings Casino app's got you
I'm just
covered.
mad we
They
just
got
can't
tons
ever
of
see
slots
him
to
in
choose
action,
from.
bro.
All these options, I feel like a slot machine. Come to Papa.
All players get a free chance at a daily reward on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
King would be proud. For the most part, Resident Evil will make references mainly to other Capcom games like Mega Man and Street Fighter. However, we were able to spot a rare movie reference back in the original version of RE2. In one of the hallways of Raccoon City Police Department, you'll find red lettering on the wall that reads, "Red Rum." This is a clear reference to the classic Stephen King novel, The Shining, which features the character Danny holding up his finger and saying, "Red rum, red rum."
Red rum.
Danny, what's the matter, hon?
Red rum.
That's a specialized little boy. Special little motherfucker. And that haircut was always like, this haircut is really so ass to me.
You having a bad dream?
For some reason, the remake for RE2 did not make the same reference. Aye aye, Skipper. One of the strangest yet fun aspects of RE4 is finding out all the different methods to skip specific sections of the game. Indeed, you can find all sorts of crazy methods to completely bypass tough fights. For instance, you can shoot the bell during the mob fight in Chapter 1 to end it immediately. You can end the fight against the Chainsaw Sisters just as quickly as it starts by simply attaching mines to a light bulb.
Sorry, didn't realize that was yours.
One of our favorites, though, is tossing a grenade near the lever for the goat head to kill the enemy that triggers an ambush. So much cheese that it'd make Leon constipated, and that's only scratching the surface. There are plenty more for you to find. Growing up is optional. Resident Evil 6.
RE6.
Whether you're in Raccoon City, Western Europe, or Louisiana, Resident Evil is a world filled with viscera and grit. However, the series isn't afraid to get a bit goofy, and how could it not with some of the campy dialogue? One example of this lies within Resident Evil 6. During your various campaigns, you may come across a level that hides a playground. Yes, you can walk around this area, and yes, you can totally ride the panda and go down the slide. Enjoy this brief moment of innocence while the zombie apocalyptic world burns all around you.
The fuck is that? They got her
Crisis
crazy.
in theaters Friday. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Nema bitch.
The third mainline Resident Evil game features a wide buffet of references and Easter eggs to not just the series itself, but also other Capcom games. Many of these nods you'll most likely find throughout your time on the surface of Raccoon City. One of these is a movie poster for a certain dinosaur-themed game we've been craving to see come back for some time now. Yep, that would be a Dino Crisis poster in the hospital lobby. And by God, if this isn't a tease for the franchise's comeback, we don't know what else is gonna get us to hype ourselves up again. Come on, Capcom. You gave Mega Man a nod and comeback too. It's time for Dino Crisis now. Zombie Friends. Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2.
What are you doing here?
Don't shoot! I'm a human!
Though this isn't a common feature, the first Resident Evil as well as RE2 have one cool detail that can be experienced under specific circumstances. It is possible to encounter zombified versions of Albert Wesker in RE1 and Brad in RE2. In the Sega Saturn version of RE1, all you have to do is access the battle game side mode and get far enough to encounter Zombie Wesker, who takes 4 magnum bullets worth of damage to down. As for Zombie Brad in RE2, get to the RCPD without picking up any weapons.
Look, I know these are goated. I can't play this version of Resident Evil. I can't. I just can't.
Or items while under Scenario A on normal difficulty. He also takes quite a bit of damage before dying, but if you manage to beat him, you'll receive a key that unlocks a new costume. Resident Street Fighter, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 7. Yeah, some of the Capcom references can be painfully obvious, but they're still pleasant to spot when playing. Along with Dino Crisis and Mega Man, Street Fighter has made its way into Resident Evil on a couple of occasions. In RE7, you can find a book called Fighting Street in a few different spots. You can also find this same book in RE3 as well. Another cool nod to the fighting franchise is in RE2, while you're running through the city. One of the bigger buildings is named Aruka's, which is a reference to Street Fighter's local butt-kicking schoolgirl, Sakura.
Ah!
Someone's making these.
Yeah, I've never been good at fighters. My little man has always been good at. I've never been good at fighters. Never. At best, I was decent at. I forgot which one that was. I think it might have been Soul Calibur. I was decent at that one because I played it a lot, but I ain't never been good at those. It's so the fresh and so clean. But yeah, yeah.
Resident Evil 7.
All you do is click the button. Boom, it's gonna generate a chord progression. Let's listen to some of these.
Ooh.
It isn't uncommon for folks to get a tad frustrated with Resident Evil's more obtuse puzzles, and RE7 protagonist Ethan Winters is in that group of people. Sure, finding items and remembering where inaccessible areas are located can be tedious, but item manipulation can be annoying too. Ethan shares the resentment with players while solving one of RE7's shadow puzzles. After solving one of them, he'll ask who is even making these stupid things. Well, one note can be found in the attic that reveals who really is making these, and it's the same company behind Spencer Mansion's secret corridors. Damn you, Trevor and Chamberlain Construction!
Who builds this shit?
Shut up, he's fishing! Resident Evil 4. Some of the coolest moments in gaming come when players discover ways to off bosses before their initial encounters. This is one of those moments. Just before you venture out into the lake to face the monstrous Del Lago, do yourself a favor and shoot the water a few times. Use whatever you feel like, a magnum, shotgun, pistol even, go right ahead. Ha! I lied! Del Lago jumps from the water and eats you whole.
That's fucking
Nah, man,
crazy.
you gotta put on your big boy pants and face this monstrous fish head on. There aren't any shortcuts here. You're Brody, he's Jaws. Come back with the head, tail, the whole damn thing. Merchants Talk. Resident Evil Village.
Welcome.
Speaking of RE4, Village shows the 2005 hit a ton of love through various references and nods. Of them all, there's one that has hit fans the hardest. In a good way, of course. Whenever you're browsing the Duke's wares, he'll make some light commentary on your purchases or say something completely unprovoked. One of these lines is a direct shout out to RE4's shady-looking merchant character.
What are you buying?
It makes you wonder if the Duke and Merchant have some sort of hidden agenda between Resident Evil's heroes and villains. They just seem to appear at incredibly convenient times, and the fact they know each other makes it all seem suspicious.
What are you buying? Just something an old friend of mine used to say.
Film D, aka Rising Rookie, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 2. This is an oldie but a goodie, and Wesker would certainly agree with that sentiment. After all, he's the one in possession of this. In the original RE2, you'll have to search Wesker's desk 50 times to obtain a photo of Rebecca in her basketball uniform. As for the remake, all you have to do is develop the film Hiding Place in order to retrieve a box from Wesker's desk drawer. At first, it's really just a box, but check the drawer again for the photo. So, it appears our edgelord has some splaining to do.
Wow. Oh yeah, I heard about that.
A sequel tease? Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Before we cap off the list with our last entry, let's revisit RE3 for one more sneaky reference. Most hardcore RE fans have probably spotted it already, but it's pretty easy to overlook. One modest-looking movie theater advertises a film supposedly called Biohazard 4. This is actually an advertisement and tease for Resident Evil 4, Biohazard being the franchise's name in Japan. Indeed, RE4 was in development when RE3 launched, but the build that was being worked on at this time would become Devil May Cry. RE4 wouldn't launch until 2005, 6 years after this tease was made public.
Well, I really don't give a damn. Rain or shine, you're going down.
A letter from
I don't give a damn.
Shinji Mikami, Resident Evil. We had to save the best for last, and it's probably the one secret that's the most difficult to witness. It's no easy task to reach this, as you'll have to beat the game under invisible mode, which makes every enemy in the game, well, invisible.
That's fucking dumb.
Do this and you'll unlock a heartfelt letter from series creator Shinji Mikami, thanking you for playing the game and congratulating you on your efforts. It's a message that says more than just thanks for playing, and you can really hear the gratitude in his words.
Therefore, on behalf of the entire staff, please allow me to express our gratitude and congratulate you on a job well done. Thank you very much for playing. Shinji Mikami, Dev Team Representative.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.
It'd have been nice if they gave you like a coupon for the next RE game or something like that for beating that fucking game on Invisible. What is that? Invisible. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back, chat. Top 20 hardest enemies to kill in video
Welcome
games.
to Mojo Plays, and today we're looking at regular video game enemies that are tough to put down, whether it be due to their durability or combat tactics. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Shambhala Guardians, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves.
What is this?
As Drake, his allies, and his enemies reach the mystical city of Shambhala, they all come into conflict with its residents. Turns out, they're extremely protective of their home and have used the Tree of Life's sap to increase their strength and stamina. And that spells bad news for everyone.
Hard to kill, that's what.
I know, right? What are we supposed to do? Any ideas?
The Shambhala Guardians are your classic late-game bullet sponges. You can unload a full clip into one and it'll still be bounding your way. They also come equipped with powerful crossbows, able to put you down in mere moments. As problematic as these Guardians are, it's still fun seeing them rip through your enemies. Dry Bones, Super Mario series. These Koopa skeletons may not look like much, and they're far from the most aggressive enemy, but their durability is honestly impressive. No matter how many times Mario jumps on its head, causing the body to crumble, Dry Bones will always get back up after a few seconds. First appearing in Super Mario Bros. 3, the only way to permanently destroy one was to use a star or Hammer Bros suit, both pretty rare to come across. They've gotten both easier and harder to deal with depending on the game. The inclusion of the Ice Flower in the new Super Mario Bros. Series was a godsend, but in Galaxy, you could only use a star or lure it into a trap using the environment. Juggernauts, Call of Duty series.
Yeah, I remember those Juggernauts.
We've all been there. You're being swarmed by enemies, and out comes one of the big guns. You pour buckets of bullets into them, and yet they still won't go down. That's your experience with the Juggernauts from Call of Duty.
I hate the Juggernauts, bro.
Although they're encountered in many games, those found in the Modern Warfare series are by far the worst. They carry their cover with them in the form of some of the strongest body armor around. Depending on the game, some can even be more heavily armored and wield miniguns. Yeah. Whether it be in Special Ops, Survival, or just the campaign, the Juggernauts will test your patience and surely test your mettle. Chrysalids, XCOM 2. Developer Firaxis Games increased the difficulty in this sequel in numerous ways. One of the most obvious was in the Chrysalid enemy, made significantly stronger over its predecessor. Similar to the first game, Chrysalids can infect any organic matter, whether it be a civilian or a member of your team. This forms a cocoon, which will spawn up to 3 new Chrysalids and cause players to be overwhelmed through sheer force. The way in which they use the battlefield was also improved. They can leap to tall buildings, move with alarming speed, and can burrow underground. Their burrow ability makes them much harder to hit and gives them a chance to ambush you even if it's your turn. Trimmer Tusks, Horizon Forbidden West. Aloy has to battle a multitude of tough machines along her adventures. A special shout out goes to the Rockbreaker, which hides underground and surprises you from below. It's a pain. As troublesome as that is, Forbidden West gave us the walking bulldozers that are the Trimmer Tusks. These mammoth-inspired enemies naturally dwarf Aloy in size, and they've got the defensive and offensive capabilities to match.
I actually want to play this game though.
Physical attacks both short and long range, as well as fire, plasma, and electric attacks, give it a wide range of ways to annihilate you. It may be slow, but its sturdy armor plates make up for this downside. Even if you manage to destroy one of its weak points, the Trimmer Tusk will not be dissuaded.
This looks impossible though.
Berserkers, Gears of War series.
I always thought Gears of War was just a bunch of linebackers with guns.
She can hear us. She can smell us.
The Locust Horde is an intimidating force, to be sure, but some of its members definitely hit harder than others. Berserkers are the less common female variant of a Locust drone, and they are far more powerful than their male counterparts. These enemies may be blind, but their heightened smell and hearing makes that a non-issue. They also get their name from the fact that they're in a constant state of rage and will come barreling towards any foe like a freight train. Try and shoot it all you want. Its skin is extremely resistant to gunfire. Any weapon that emits flame will weaken them for further damage, but other than that, best of luck.
How about we never do that again?
Yeah, that works for me.
Red Auramers, Ghosts and Goblins series.
Is he a character in Gears of War?
Capcom's Ghosts and Goblins series consists of
Sounds
some
like
of the most
Pokemon.
challenging platformers ever made. Most of the enemies are ruthless, but chief among them is the Red Auramer. These winged demons like to fly high above poor Arthur, swiftly diving down on him with little chances to defend himself. Depending on which
that sounds
power-up
like
you have
Pokemon.
equipped, they'll probably be extremely hard to hit, and likely take more than one shot to go down. But as Arthur can only be hit twice before its curtains, these so-called regular enemies seem more powerful than you. Since these games don't usually offer a way to save, we approach every Red Auramer with the utmost caution.
If you get stuck on a melody, or if you just feel like you can't get a song started, Output's co-producer is very dope. They make it much easier for us to eat.
That is nice.
Noken, God of War Ragnarok.
You hear that?
It's always cool seeing how God of War adapts mythological figures and monsters to suit its gameplay. But Sony could have left this thing buried in the annals of history, and we would have been completely okay with it. The Noken are some of the physically weakest enemies in the game, but they never travel alone, boosting their allies so that they instantly heal from whatever blow you deal them.
Yeah,
Though
they
you
suck.
can hear them chanting to perform this skill, they're also usually hiding. All it takes is one encounter with an endlessly healing ogre, courtesy of this little gremlin, to make you lose your cool. And gods help you when it's boosting a group of enemies.
Yeah, they were annoying, bro. They're like a thorn in your side.
Death Claws, Fallout series.
I remember Fallout.
There are a great many predators roaming the wasteland of Fallout, but the Death Claws are of the apex variety.
I remember Fallout.
While they're
Never
not
played
quite
it, but I
so bad
remember.
in some games, if you come across one in 3 or New Vegas, it's probably best you keep your distance. That's a whole lot easier said than done, however, as they tend to move blindingly fast. They're also extremely durable, soaking up most bullets as you can spray their way. Unfortunately, they aren't usually found alone either, so you'll likely have a pack to deal with at a time. Of course, you can always take the necessary precautions in enhancing your character and weapons to make them easier, but that takes supreme preparation. Twitchers, Dead Space series. Anyone familiar with the Dead Space series knows you must always try to keep necromorphs at arm's length, because they will absolutely make you regret it if you don't. Therefore, one that moves ridiculously fast is bound to be an issue. It's entirely likely that a Twitcher will dodge most of your gunfire before it reaches you.
That shit Harlem shaking.
It's this erratic and unpredictable movement that makes them so hard to kill. However, when it bears down upon you, it will proceed to slice and dice off chunks of your health bar before you can even think. It's one of the most vicious necromorph variants in the game, which is saying quite a lot.
Nekianus. I don't recognize one of these names.
Marauders, Doom Eternal. Throughout the Doom series, players have taken on countless hordes of vile demons. Yet it wasn't until 2020's Eternal that they were introduced to the toughest enemy in the series. Once Night Sentinels, the Marauders were resurrected and turned demonic. Since they originally belonged to the same group of heroes as you, that means they'll have a lot of nifty tricks to make your life hell.
My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see, Slayer.
They've got a variety of attacks for different ranges, can summon a wolf, and are either immune to or resistant against several of your weapons. Furthermore, there's only a brief window when they're open to attack, which just so happens to be in the middle of a lunge. Brilliant. Fakas, Zelda 2.
Yeah, I ain't got time for all that. But look, chat, this is what we're gonna do. I was gonna knock out some Warzone, but it's super late already, and if I start it, I'll be on this bitch until like 2, 3 in the morning. Can't do that. Gotta be up early for the gym. So we'll end the stream here, but we will do the Warzone stream tomorrow. What is that? But we will do the stream tomorrow, and we'll do it earlier because I can't be doing this late shit too much. Can't be doing it. I got a lot of shit I gotta take care of. But appreciate